You know these guys? Kabilame. Okay, the guy that's always doesn't see anything, does he? Okay. Who is the other guy? Sabinus. He calls himself an investor, Abi. Something huge. All right. The next guys. Wole Agba. Okay. What about the lady there? Do you know her? Okay. It's not Bob. It's not Bobrisky. Don't worry, I'll tell you who she is. And then guy. Do you know Awansare Ju Ferrari Law? You don't know that song? Okay. All right, so let's go to the next slide. All right, so what is influence? Influence is simply the capacity to have an effect on the character, development, behavior. What's the last one? Endgame. I mean, how many movies are there? 5? How many are there? How many are there? How many are all those movies? 4 or 5? People are following my handle. Okay. So influence is the ability to be able to have an effect on somebody's character, on somebody's behavior, on somebody's outcome. If you punch somebody in the face, your hand has influenced that person's face. Except, of course, maybe you are small, and then your punch can't really do anything. But imagine if the Hulk punches Spider-Man. Okay, let's go on. Influence is the power to have an effect on people or things or a person, and that thing that is able to do this. So essentially, influence is being able to cause other people to behave differently. For example, this morning, when you woke up and it was raining and you plan to just wear a sleeveless shirt, it's very likely that because of the rain, it's going to influence the way you are going to dress. And it's going to change the way you are going to dress. If you travel to Canada today, you cannot dress like the way you dress in Nigeria. Why? The influence of the environment will affect you. Will change your diction, the way you speak, the way you behave. Let's go to the next slide. So, an influencer is somebody that has the power to sway the decisions of the audience. Is the person that can make an audience or somebody change their mind. So influencers are people that can change the way you dress, they can change the way you speak, they can change the way you behave, so that you are even beginning to act in a way that you probably would not have acted if that influence was not there. Do we agree on that? All right. So we know that there are a couple of people that we call social media influencers. There are people that because of their access to social media, they have access to a group of people, and because of the things that they say or the things that they do, they can make people change their minds about a product. So if an influencer comes and says that this product is not good, no matter how many people push that product's good qualities, people will probably say that they are not buying because somebody says so, and because that person has influence over others. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so I have a good question here. Do you know that Jesus wants you to be an influencer? How many people agree with me that Jesus would want us to be an influencer? Raise your hand. And people think that that's not very correct. All right. So, like I said earlier, an influencer is somebody that can make another person change their mind. So, if you have a younger brother here, you actually can influence him. I have 3 kids. 2 of my kids are not here because they are in a camp. I will have brought them here. Both of them are teenagers. So I have a boy who's firstborn, a girl who's secondborn, and then I have the last one who is 8. My 13-year-old can influence my son so much that sometimes when we tell him to do something, because his sister said he should do something different, he will do something different. Even though I can beat both him and his sister together. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So even though I'm older, my influence is not as strong in some areas as the influence of somebody else that is younger. Simply because influence is about you being able to sway the decisions of other people. You can change the way they are thinking. And you don't have to have a lot of people to be able to influence people. You can actually influence somebody beside you. All right, so let's go to the next slide. Matthew 5:16. Can we read it together from the screen? Let's go. In the same way, does that look like influence? Do you agree that that looks like influence? So that means that when you shine your light, people will see it, or rather, when you shine your light before people. Because it's possible to shine your light and hide it under somewhere. The Bible says in that same Matthew chapter 5, it talks about how you don't light a candle and put it under a bushel. You don't, let me use a more modern parlance. If you enter your house and there's no light, and you have a rechargeable lantern or rechargeable lamp, when you put it on, do you put it under the chair? If you put it under the chair, what will we say of you? That there's something wrong. Because the purpose of the light is to do what? Is to make everybody see. All right. Now, the reason why we need, let's go to the next slide. It says, therefore go and make disciples of all nations. That's Jesus in Matthew 28, verse 19. Now, the reason why we need to get this first is that influence has to be positive for it to make a difference in a proper difference in people's lives. We mentioned, the auntie that was here talked about Bob Risky. Is Bob Risky influencing people? Yes. Is Bob Risky influencing people? Yes. Is Portable influencing people? Yes. But is he influencing them positively? No. And the more negative influences we have, the more society begins to spiral, the harder it is for us to live. So what we want to do is become positive influences. And like I said earlier, you don't have to have 2,000 followers for you to be able to influence somebody. You can influence your friend. Okay. So Jesus asked us to go and make disciples of all nations. In short, Jesus said, go and influence all nations. Okay? Let's go to the next slide. So, I'm going to discuss this. How do you become an influencer? Let's go to the next slide. Digital media is very powerful. I like to say this. You guys are digital natives. People like me, we are digital immigrants. We are trying to learn how to use digital media. You guys were born into it. Do you agree with me? How many people have any hunchback TV in their house? You know what the hunchback TV is? Those TVs that have, most of you have flat screen TVs. In fact, some of you have interactive screen TVs that you just talk to the screen and the thing is doing something. When I was younger, we used to use plier to turn channel. So and if you are making a phone call, have you seen that dial-up thing? So you put your hand, you pull it. If you make a mistake, you have to start again. So imagine you are doing 090668255. You wait and the thing goes back. Then you now made a mistake. Towards the end, you have to now start again. But today, if you want to call somebody, you can even just say, hey, Google, call mommy. Abi? Or Siri, whichever one. I use an Android phone, so. Okay. Digital media is very powerful. It's so powerful that it can be used to turn governments around. A couple of years ago, you guys may not have been born, but there was an insurrection in Egypt. And it was based on Twitter. People were sharing stuff. In fact, why am I even going so far? NSAS. How many of us are familiar with NSAS? Okay, the government shut down Twitter. Why? People were sharing content on social media. And it became such a powerful tool. They were raising money. They were doing all kinds of things. And they were going to cause the government to topple until the government... Let's not go there. But this quote, he who controls media controls the culture. You are the things that you are seeing consistently. The reason why you guys are dressed the way you are is because of things that you have seen. If you are living in a village and you had access to social media, you dress differently from the way people in the village are dressing. Because of the things you see. You wear jeans because you see fashion guys dressed that way. I don't know if you are getting my point. When I was much younger, when you are going to church, there's a way to dress to church. You wear your best clothes. You wear shirts and trousers. If you can't get a jacket, Yeah, if you can get a jacket, you wear a jacket, you have a tie. But today is a whole different ball game. You are in church nowadays, you see pastors that wear T-shirts. Abi? A couple of you, not too long ago, the pastors that came to preach were either wearing what? Suit and tie, even in the heat. Because of things that we were seeing. I'm saying that for you to know that media is very powerful. The media here, and when I'm saying media, I'm not just talking about entertainment or anything. I'm talking about the things that you see, the things that you hear. They change the way you think. That's why Romans 12, 1 and 2 tells us that we should be careful. We should not be conformed to this world, but we're transformed by the renewing of your mind. How does your mind get renewed? We know what GIGO is. Have we heard of it before? Garbage in, garbage out. It's what you put in a computer that it brings out for you. It's what you put in your mind that comes out. Let's go to the next slide. Next slide. All right. So, we're going to use these three things to guide ourselves on how we can be social media influencers. Like I said, it's important that we get the crux of this matter. Jesus is in our heart. If Jesus is in our heart and is ruling my life, that means everything I'm doing has to be influenced by that decision or by Jesus. So, the Bible says in Matthew chapter 5, I think it's verse 15 now, it says you are the light of the world. Okay? So first of all, we need to know that you are the light of the world. Then it says, let your light shine before men. And then the third thing is that they may see your good works. Let's go to the next slide. I'll just take one of them, each of them. So you are the light of the world. You are a bearer of light. You are a bringer of heaven's light. You need to know that. Can we say it together? I am a bearer of good news. I am a bringer of heaven's light. Everywhere you are God's masterpiece to bring life and good news to that place. Everywhere. Whether it's offline or it's online. You are God's master. When God looks at the earth and he sees that, Tokpa is here, he's not bothered. Because he knows that his son is there. And his son carries light. Now, as a representative of God, that means that your light needs to shine. If you don't understand that, first of all, that you are a bringer of light. When light enters into darkness, what happens to darkness? What happens to darkness? If you are in a dark room, what do you need to do to dispel darkness? Just put on light. Do you need to pray? Do you need to cry? Do you need to beg somebody? All you need to do is just go and switch. If there's electricity, put on the switch. Or if there's no electricity, put on your phone, your torchlight. So that you can see. And that's who we are in this world. The world that we live in is broken. People are trying to dress, guys are trying to dress like women. Guys are trying to convert themselves to women. So we have people that are male that are saying that they want to become women. Is that normal? Is that okay? There's something, it's obviously because somebody is broken. If you look at the world today, how many of us are aware that there's a war going on in Ukraine right now? Okay? And people there cannot go to school like normal children because the world is broken. Is that the way God designed the world to be? Is that the way God designed the world to be? No. So, you are the bringer of light into situations. The reason why you are in your school is not only so that you can get a degree or pass and do your exams. It's because because ultimately when you die and you go back to heaven, God will not ask you how many secondary schools did you go. He's going to ask you what you did with your life. There's a song we sing, This Little Light of Mine. Do we know it? I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Don't worry, I took it from the second line. I'm a keyboardist, so don't worry, I will not make that kind of mistake. So I'm trying to tell you that what's most important is that you have light. If it's darkness that you have, when you start influencing people, you will pass darkness. When Thanos showed up, what was Thanos doing? He was spreading darkness. Because you can only give what you have. So my challenge to you today is to recognize that you are light. And so whether you are using social media or you are using regular media, you are light. You bring light into that space. Let's go to the next slide. So how does light function? I think I mentioned this. This is your heart, and that is Jesus, the king of your heart. And because Jesus is the king of your heart, it begins to spread to work, to church, to school, when you play. And that's why recently I love watching movies. I love watching science fiction movies. I love watching superhero movies. Okay? There was a time I used to write to Marvel Comics. You write and send an envelope, and then they'll send you a comic back. Today, if you subscribe to Marvel, you have access to some comics. So that's the electronic version of what we used to do. So I downloaded Morbius, and I wanted to watch it. And I couldn't. Do you know why? There was too much blood. Because of my values as a Christian, is there anything wrong with watching Morbius? Maybe not for everybody. But for me, with what I know about God, it's too gory. I can't watch it. I'm going to be 44 this year. There are some movies that they'll put 18. I don't watch. The reason is simple. Some of those movies, they push lust. They show too many sex scenes. Am I old enough to handle it? Yes. But is it polluting my mind? Yes. And because it's polluting my mind, that's the reason why I won't watch it. I don't know if you are getting my point. So it's really about when Jesus is in your heart. There are certain things that Jesus will impress on your heart not to do. And if he's the Lord of your life, then you obey him. And that's where it starts from. Praise God. Let's go to the next slide. I know that you guys are probably looking at me that, okay. So we'll talk about the social media stuff. So let's go to the next slide. Okay? So, question. How can you help people? And this is how you let your light shine. I'll give a few examples of people. Okay, I'm thinking maybe I should skip today. Okay. So let your light shine. How can you help people? Start thinking that, okay, with this light that Jesus has given me, how can I help people? And it doesn't have to be something massive. I know a young person, this guy is in university now. I think he's maybe in 100 or 200 level. When he was in SS3, he knew math. He had mathematics issues when he was in GSS class. But by the time he got to SS3, SS classes, was able to better himself in mathematics. And what he did was that he started teaching juniors in GSS class how to get better at mathematics. He had some level of success. He was just an SS3 student. But because he had struggled through something when he was in GSS class, he was able to help people. Not only was he helping people, people were paying him to help them. Don't worry, I'll get to the money part. Because one of the things that, if you look at social media influencers today, some of them, for a bank to use them to say anything, to just create a skit, they'll pay 1 million naira, they'll pay 2 million naira. Okay? And it's good. It's good to have that kind of money. Just do it. Just tell people that, this bank is a good bank, and then the bank will pay you 2 million. Is that a good business? Will your parents be happy with you if you do that kind of business? In fact, they will encourage you. They will ask you, which camera do you need again? All right. So it's about letting your light shine is about being a solution provider. What can you do? What do you know that can help somebody else? You can know something as simple as just you know how to read the Bible. Don't worry, let me. All right. So let your light shine. What problems can you solve? You are light. Light is solution. And you are a solution provider. And you need to start thinking that way. Let's go to the next slide. Okay? And then it says, let men see your good works. There's no point having good light that you are hiding. The purpose of light is to give everybody illumination. So publish the things that you are doing. Share the things, the solutions that you have created. Don't be ashamed. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. You have created things that can help people. And you are telling people that I have done this. It's not pride. Imagine Jesus came to the earth to come and save us from our sins. And he just locked himself up in one room and did not come out. Do you think God will be happy with him? Do you think you will be happy with him? Imagine somebody has the cure to cancer. And the person just tells us that, I have the cure to cancer. I've had it for the past 20 years. I just don't want to tell people. What are we likely to do to that person? We first beat him. It will take a lot for him not to be killed. Because he's selfish. That you have a solution that can save people's lives and you keep it hidden. And that's how some of us are. We have things that can help other people. And we are keeping quiet about it because we are feeling ashamed that, maybe it will not be useful. I don't really know much. But that little that you know, you're actually better than somebody else. Let's go to the next slide. And I'll just... So let's be a bit more practical. How can we do this? Let's go to the next slide. There are three categories of things that you can create. And you guys are a creative generation. You can write books. Do you know that you don't have to have a lot of money to be able to publish a book today? You can publish a book now and put it on Amazon and people will be buying it. If you don't want to put it on Amazon, you can put it on your phone and tell people that you have a book and people will buy it from you. You can convert your Microsoft Word into a PDF and people can buy it from you. You can create podcasts. Today, if you have a phone, whether it's Apple or Android, you can actually start a podcast by just recording your voice and recording things that you are saying on your phone. And you started a podcast that people are listening. A podcast is just audio, like radio, but you are the controller of the radio. Okay? You can, how many of us love animations here? Okay, yes, you know. Anime is animation, and it's all of them. It's different. It's okay. I've heard. I will not argue with you people. Whether we like it or not, is the animation of static images that is moving. That's what animation is. It's a different type of drawing. You can create some of these things. Have you guys seen people that are doing stickmen that are just talking? You know that today you don't have to have high-level skill to be able to create beautiful animation. You can create slideshows. Pictures that are just sliding. When I was much younger, I'm sure some of the parents here will bear me witness. TV started at 4 o'clock. You had limited options. In fact, sometimes they will show the same episode 3 times in a week. You will watch it like that because there's nothing else to watch. Today now you have 24 hours, a channel that is dedicated to cartoons 24 hours. And they're showing new episodes. Then you have access to YouTube. And the reason why you have access is because somebody is putting content there. If nobody is putting anything there, you know that you watch the same thing over and over and over again. All right. Some of us are good graphic designers here. How many people know how to use Canva here or have ever heard of Canva? It's the fastest, easiest way to be able to create graphics. You don't have to be a professional designer to be able to use it. Okay. So these are areas where you can create things. I want to throw a challenge to us today. The reason why we have a lot of bad content online is because somebody with bad values is putting it there. If you want good content online, what do? You create it and you publish it. Don't worry, we'll get there. If you want to create good, you create it and you, what's the second thing? Publish it. The reason why we have the kind of content we have online, somebody twerking, somebody doing anime that they are chopping off people's head, is because somebody created it and he put it there. So when you get there, Yoruba people say that you are not there, you are complaining how they share the thing. When you see anything about how they are sharing it. So I'll just share a few case studies. How many people know the Bible Project? Theology. The other is, I wanted to download one of their videos and play. But if, I don't know if the media guys can help me, just go play it so that you guys see. They use animation to tell the story of the Bible. It's so simple that whether you are an advanced theologian, you can actually understand it. It's so simple. They tell the story of the Bible so simply. How many people have tried reading the book of Revelation here? How easy was understanding that book of Revelation? These guys did a video on the book of Revelation. And when you watch it, it will make sense. So that's somebody, or those are some people that are using 2D animation to tell the story of the Bible to influence people. They have, I can't remember how many people they have on their, how many subscribers they have on YouTube now. But I know it's in the second case study. Next slide, please. Do you guys know Street Church? Street church. The black and yellow guys. Okay? They have 1. And I can't see the screen properly, but let me check here. They have, on Instagram, they have over 74,000 followers. And that's January 2021. This was June last year. I don't know what they have right now. I'm sure that is much more than that. And it started with somebody, this guy goes to a church in K2. He goes to a CSC church. That's where he grew up as a believer. He decided to be writing his devotion in Pidgin English. And that's how he started. So, where this guy is 2 Corinthians, is that 11:14? Can somebody, let's open 2 Corinthians 11:14. I particularly like this scripture. So, is it possible to project it for us? 2 Corinthians, okay. So, can we read it together? Let's go. And no wonder, for Satan himself is where they're not disguising. This guy started very simply. His experience, he got to a point where the Bible was getting boring for him. And he decided that, okay, let me do something new. Let me have a fresh experience. And he started interacting with God like streets kind of slang. That thing has evolved into something bigger than he is today. So when I say that you have light and you can solve a problem, that's what I'm referring to. Does it have to be that big? Not necessarily. But can it influence somebody beside you? Yes, it can. Let's go to the third one. Next slide. Okay. Do we know this lady? So she was the lady that I showed at the beginning. Oh! Ariel. She has a particular phrase that she likes to say. I'm going to see for myself. Okay. So what did she start doing? She started using short videos to show the struggles of a young person in their relationship with God. So sometimes God will tell her something, and she'll say, I'll see for myself. And then she'll chop brushing. On slap. Why? And she's acting all the three people. She's the angel, she's God, and she's herself. She has over, on TikTok, she has 2.5 million followers. She's a Christian. She's a Christian. She's influencing other people positively. Something I didn't mention about please you guys will share the joke because I'm laughing there, I'm not laughing here. Something I didn't share about the street church guys. Muslims share street church stuff on their status. Muslims. Somebody said something. He said, if this is how the entire Bible is written, I'll read it in 3 months. This person has never read the Bible in his entire life. So I'm saying that God is depending on you to be able to influence other people. Is that the last slide? Is there another one? I'm not sure if there's another one. Okay, so let's go back. So before these people are people that identified a problem that people have and decided to do something about it and then started publishing it. So, are you here? Do you have an imagination that is very active, like me? Sometimes when I'm sitting in church, if I show you this is my church notebook. My church notebook is littered with, let me see if I can. It's littered with drawings. I have all manner of, that's the way my mind works. I'm not listening to a message and I'm seeing images. So when I'm reading the story of David or David and Goliath, I'm seeing action sequence. Somebody that is swinging, and then the thing is, and he sees it, and the guy, that's what I'm seeing. Can I write that as a story? Yes. Will somebody be interested in reading even though he's not a Christian? Yes. A couple of years ago, I wrote the story of how I met my wife, on Facebook. Before I knew it, this was 2016. People started calling me, Pastor Lala, so you can write story. And me, I've been wasting money buying novel outside. I didn't think it was that serious. And usually most of us, the light that we have, because it's shining from us, is nothing. It's when other people are in darkness that see that they respect it. So first things first, identify a problem that you can solve. Some of us can draw here. Some of us are not excellent artists, but we can write stories. Some of us are so good that when you started telling the story, you do not know where the story is ending. Have you met people like that before? They can tell story. I have a younger brother. My immediate younger brother, when we were much younger, my younger brother will climb the table, the center table, and he will tell everybody that he has story today to tell us. Omo, we have to chase him away from that place. Because the next 30 minutes he's still there. This is your story. Would the end? Today, my younger brother can go anywhere and make friends with anybody. And that thing has made him, he has gotten jobs, he has gotten opportunities because of that. And he tells me, he said one of the things he loves to do is to make people laugh. So you can be that kind of person. You don't have to be an excellent comedian like Sabinus. There are things that you know. Some of us, there are things that we know. We know things about mathematics. We know things about subjects. We know things about nature that other people don't know. You can begin to share those things. And the truth is that those things become an opportunity for you to be able to influence people. That when you say, Jesus is the way, they will believe you. Because now you have some influence on them. So I want to throw this challenge to you today. There are things that your friends, that you can influence people around you with. Whether on digital media platforms or on other platforms. Some of us have, at least, we have access to WhatsApp. Your WhatsApp stories or your WhatsApp status is a good way to influence other people. You can begin to talk about something that you are passionate about. You can begin to talk about a problem that you have experienced, that you have solved. Something as simple as how to arrange your books when you are going to school. My daughter just moved to SS1, but when she joined our school in JS1, the bag was so heavy that it was always an issue. I used to complain about it. Why is your bag so heavy? If somebody comes today and devises a method, okay, all right. Can we have volume?
Relationship that you find all over. But if you've been around Christians, you've probably heard of the idea of having a personal relationship with God, which could mean different things in the Bible, like having God as a friend, or your father, or maybe your teacher.
But there's one particular way that the Bible talks about this relationship that you find all over. But strangely, we don't talk about it that much. And that's the idea of a partnership with God.
A partnership like working alongside someone to accomplish a goal together.
Right, and this is actually what you see at the beginning of the Bible. God creates this good world full of all of this potential. And then God appoints these unique creatures, humans, as his partners in bringing more and more goodness out of all that potential.
But the humans don't want to partner with God. They rebel and try to create a world on their own terms.
And so this broken partnership is the Bible's explanation for why we're stuck in a world of corruption and injustice and the tragedy of death.
It's not like there's just one or two humans who have bailed on this relationship. In the story of the Bible, everyone has abandoned the partnership with God.
So what God does is select a smaller group of people out of the many, and he makes a new partnership with them called a covenant. And in a covenant, God makes promises, and then in exchange asks his partner to fulfill certain commitments. And the purpose of all of this is to somehow use this covenant relationship to renew his partnership with everybody else.
Now, there are actually 4 times in the Old Testament that we're told God initiates a covenant relationship with Noah, Abraham, the nation of Israel, and King David.
Pause it a bit. I just want to ask you a question. How many people have heard of covenant before in the Bible? Have you ever thought about it as a partnership? This video, is there anything spectacular about this? It's spectacular because it's explaining some things that you are probably have been far away from. But when you're looking at the visual stuff, is there anything, is it something that you can't do? It's just a couple of lines. I don't know if you are getting my point. It's not like 3D animation that requires high level of skill. This does not require much skill. If you don't know how to use Idigo to call O, if you don't know how to use a bottle to write O, if you are that bad, I'm sure you can do something like this. So my point is very simple. You have light. You can use your creative gifts to share that light to the world and begin to influence people. And the truth is that all these big names that you have today, they started by just doing something simple. That space is saturated. Everybody is doing everything now to make sure that they are funny. But there are some other things that you can do that other people can't, that can be your way to be able to influence them. The reason why I'm here today is because consistently I kept talking about how Christians can use media and digital media to affect other people, to change other people. And how did it start? My daughter, who is 13 now, she was 3 at that time. There's this song by Glow, Talking, We've Got People Talking. There's a space in one of the songs. She sang that song without, at 3, for her to be able to sing that song without missing a beat. I was shocked. Then one day, we used to live in Lagos. We were coming to Ibadan. I was going to my parents' place. And there was an alpha in the Marwa that picked us, the tricycle. And the guy was playing a Muslim song. It was a Friday. And my daughter started singing it. That's when I knew that Kasala is about to burst. So I told myself, I said, if I don't want her to begin to sing wrong kind of songs, I have to find a way to create songs that she could hear. So I started playing Limo Blaze. Now we play Limo Blaze. But then it was Corey, it was Mike Abdul, all those kind of songs, Fred Hammond. Those are the songs I was playing around her so that she would have that. Because I consistently talked about that thing so much, people started calling me, Tokwe, can you come and talk to our church? Tokwe, can you come and do this? And what started as a problem that I had on my own became something that people now started knowing me for. So I'm saying that you as an individual, there are people that what I did, they are on one of the top influencers on TikTok. She does interior, the second, I think the third one that I saw. She eats. That's what she does. She will get new recipe of food, she will be eating it and be telling you how sweet it is. And she has millions of followers. How many people know Zach King here? Zach King is the guy that does videos of, he's holding a football and then he throws the thing up, then the thing becomes a massive rock that lands on his head. I mean, he does all kinds of visual effect stuff. So I'm saying that small thing that you think that is so small, that light that you have, that is shining, that in your eye is not a big deal, is actually something that other people are looking for a solution for. You know biology more than some people. You know how to, I know some people that they may not have studied something, but if you give them the book to read it in 5 seconds, they'll be teaching you, you'll be thinking that they are the ones that wrote the book. Have you met people like that before? You know, there are some people that is table tennis that they are very good at. They know how to receive any smashing. And that can be a way, you're pointing to somebody. You know, imagine you are doing your table tennis video. You're talking about it. My daughter, I talk about her a lot. You know, she started this thing she told me she wanted to start. Okay, so I downloaded a video on how to use cardboard and cardboard pieces to make marble racetrack. Okay? And I was going to do it. At some point, I got tired. And I left it because, there are other more important things in my life to do. She picked it up and she finished it. You know? And she said, Daddy, I want to have a YouTube channel. And what's my YouTube channel about? I just want to express my creativity. So sometimes, my wife bakes, so sometimes she's baking and we're recording our videos. Sometimes it's nature and we're recording our videos. So I'm saying that there's so much opportunity for you. And about the platforms you are asking, there's YouTube. You can create a YouTube channel. I know a 15-year-old that is making money, serious money from YouTube. And is doing educational videos. Some people are doing toy unboxing. Do you know that? They get a toy and they unbox it. And people are looking at their channel. Because somebody wants to buy that toy and they are not sure whether they should buy it or not. So you solve that problem of him buying the toy and discovering that the toy is not useful. I don't know if you are getting my point. Now, I know somebody also who, what she does is that she's just teaching people how to understand the Bible. And people are actually paying her to buy some of our things. So what I'm saying is this. There are things that you can do. When you leave this place today, go and write out 5 things that you do very well. Something as simple as singing. Something as simple as that you can pick an eye for detail. You know the kind of color combinations. How many guys here have ever struggled on a Sunday morning, you are going to church, you're not sure what to wear? So imagine somebody does a chart, a PDF chart, that shows you how to combine your colors and tells you that you should buy it for 500 naira. If you tell your parents that they should buy it for 500, will it be an issue? But imagine 500 naira in 20 places. That's how much. It's not a lot of money, Abi. 500 naira in 20 places is how much? 10K. So if I give you 10K now, will you be happy? And some people are saying no. It's okay. Don't worry. When you start making your money, you know how easy it is. So some people can plait hair here. They're very good. They know different styles. I bought clipper. I'm trying to teach myself how to barb my hair on my own. I've not been able to venture enough because I'm afraid that I will chop off the hair. But there are some people that they know how to do it. It's so easy. Can you make a video on how to cut hair, how to do different styles? And guys apart from them calling you to come and cut the hair for them, they can also start learning. You can start an institute, you can start a training, whatever from that place. I'm saying that the little thing that you know, you can influence somebody else with it. It's only John 3:16 you know in the Bible. You know it very well. You can actually use it to influence other people. You can put it on your status. You can do yourself recording videos of quoting memory verses. And you'll be shocked. People will start following you. Because some people are looking for somebody that will encourage them with the word of God. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. So my prayer, and sincerely speaking, I prayed seriously about this. Not because for me, it's much more than just speaking to young people. It's about igniting a passion in you for God. And it's about making you begin to see that there's nothing there are people that you can influence for Jesus. So, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. You're sure you learned something new? Can you put your hands together? Hey, Uncle with the mic. Come. Thank you. Thank you. So can we take some questions? Can we take some questions? If you have a question, can I see your hand up? Any question about what he said, about what he did not say, concerning social media, concerning creating an account? So he said this thing is very, where's that thing? Oh gosh. It's that Noah and Abraham and that illustration about covenant. He said that thing was very simple. Do you agree? Do you all agree that it's very, very simple to do? And you know, ask how is this thing, to create that thing, all these hands that are moving and voice is talking. You know how to do it? Do you know how to do it? No. And you're not asking, sir, how? Do you know how to do it? No. He said it's very simple. It's just connecting two lines. How are we connecting the lines, sir? Ask questions.
Okay, so there's this app on, I'm not sure, I think it's available for iPhones too. Hold on. It's called Flipper Clip. FLIPACLIP. You can actually make animations on your mobile phone by using your finger to draw. So, in animation, this is how it works. If you want something to move like this, what you do is that you draw this frame, you draw this one, 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 and then you play it, you animate it, and then it begins to wave. That app allows you to be able to do that. And there are several other apps that are available. So, what you can do is search for animation apps on your Play Store or Apple Store. Forgotten what they call it now. But just search for it. You find apps that you can easily use to animate. You don't need a computer that has crazy RAM to be able to do animation today. Yes, your question.
Sir,
what's your name so that?
George.
Joy.
George.
George. Okay. Sorry.
What if you want to write something but you don't know where to publish it? Where do you publish books?
Where do you publish stuff? Okay. So there are several places you can publish. You can publish on your WhatsApp status. Okay? You can publish on Amazon. This is simply what publishing is. Publishing is that you have written something and you are sharing it with other people. Simple definition. So if you write a story, when I was in secondary school, I went to Federal Government College in Loring. I went to a boarding school. And if you are in a boarding school, there's a lot of free time. How many people know? Particularly on weekends. I don't know about you, but at least in my own school, there's a lot of free time. So what do we do with the free time? We're either breaking termite nests and causing fights between termites and ants, or we're writing or telling ourselves stories. So I still have some of the books that I wrote. I would write foolscap sheets, foolscap, higher education. I'll just be writing my story, and then I would give it to my friends to read. That's publishing.
Sir, but I tried that Amazon one, and it's only for 18-year-olds and older.
So give it to somebody that is older to help you do it. But it will be your name that will be on it.
Thank you, sir.
All right. I hope that helps. Okay. Please, let's clap for George.
Okay, put your hands together.
At least George asked question.
Someone is talking to George. You want to ask the question? Yes.
You have a question? Okay,
You're trying to help him. Okay,
all right.
okay. Thank you. Any other person?
Any other person? You can ask, if you see me outside and you ask, I'll not answer you. I'll collect money. Yes. Okay. She's raising her hand. She's raising her hand.
So, is it possible to combine?
Your name, please.
Okay,
Sorry.
Temi.
Temi, okay.
Is it possible to combine it with academics? What you just described, and how?
Okay. I'm sure you have leisure time. Do you have time that you're not doing anything?
Yeah.
What do you do with that time? You watch TV, most of the time we are consuming stuff, online or offline. Yeah. Convert some of that time to creative things that you can do.
So when you're in school, will you just leave it dormant?
So I run a business, so I don't have opening time or closing time. Okay? I'm working, I work from home, so I work almost round the clock. But I've created a timetable of some sorts, such that there are some times that are free time. There's nothing I'm doing. It's either I'm reading with it or I'm writing with it. I'm trying to create new things. Sometimes I draw. Okay? So some of that free time I do. So when you are in school, there are times when you have leisure time that there's nothing you are doing. Can you consistently use that time to do something useful? Yes. It doesn't have to be that, okay, so you're in school. Yes, when you're in school, of course, you need to focus most of your time on studying. But the truth is that you have time to eat during that time now. You have time to sleep. You have time to play. Don't you? So you can convert some of that time to something useful. And sincerely, your parents will be... I got a question like this when I went to speak at Akobo, our teen church. And somebody was asking, how do you encourage your parents to release their mobile phones since they are the ones that are buying data, if you are not buying data for yourself yet? How do you convince them to release their phone? And I said that the reason why parents don't want to release their phone is because when you grab the phone, the only thing you do with it is consume all the data and play game. Abi? Am I lying? But imagine you tell mommy that, please just borrow me your phone. I want to quickly record a video. And they see the video that you did. And they saw you editing the video. Do you think next time when you ask for the phone, they will not give it to you? They will not give you. It's okay. We need to.
Okay.
Praise God.
Thank you.
She has a question. She raised her hand. You're not raising your hand again.
I think there are some apps that you can set to post things for you. Yes, there's an app that you can... If
you are actively involved in social media, you can actually set stuff to be posting things for you whenever.
And set the time you want it, so it will just post it for you when it's time. Yes. Any other question? How many of you have TikTok? Is it account or pages? The account or page?
It's account.
You have TikTok account. Let me see your hand. Hey, don't lie. You are here and you have TikTok account.
Instead of just dancing up and down.
You're on Snapchat. All these people here, what's going on? Okay, you have TikTok. Let me see your hand. Because TikTok seems to be the place where we have more teenagers now. TikTok and Snap. Yeah. What do you post there? Ruby, you have. What's your account about? Dancing. You've not posted anything.
You also reserve the name.
Okay, so I figured something. why we should take what he said very serious. There was an issue somewhere. I made us to seize a student's phone, and we launched into their TikTok account, and we checked many other accounts. And if I checked like 50, 49, we are just dancing rubbish. It's like that's what most teenagers do with their TikTok. TikTok dance, TikTok music. Their hands are going like this, or we're doing like this, or we're shaking, shaking. Or people are twerking, or people are touching their butt, or people are touching their bed. I'm like, what happened to our brains? Girls especially. Boys don't have butts to twerk. But the girls, it's like we are not thinking from the behind. I was just upset. I said, what happened to our brains? Where are all the girls now setting their cameras to their butts? And you guys will be watching and commenting, hot, beautiful. They know themselves here or they're outside. Thank you, sir.
Can I just say something?
Yes, sir.
You know, I said something earlier about creating content. If the content we create is people twerking and people almost half naked, that's what the content we'll continue to see on those platforms. You know, and the reason why somebody is going there to go and twerk or to go and show their body is because Christ is not yet ruling their heart. The values that you are going to show there are the things that are in your heart. There's no how you can hide it. Is it wrong to dance? No, it's not. So if you are a very good dancer, it's okay to go and dance on TikTok. But the truth is that there's much more value that you can give to people than just dancing. Can you cook? If you can cook, you can show that on TikTok. That's more useful to people than this other one that is corrupting people. Do you know how to play football? And you can juggle football. You can start a TikTok account and that's what you are doing there. That's more useful to people because it's guided also by your values as a Christian. So you only put what you have there. If all you have is lust and sexual content, that's what you go and put there. And so, please, let Christ influence you so much that what you are putting out is correct content.
Put your hands together once again. Yes, please. This one is very, very important. Very important. I'm tired of seeing people just chewing bomb on social media. It's painful. It's painful. I said to ask the girls, I say, is the only bomb that we have? Don't we have brains? Why would you take your phone, instead of facing it in front of you to talk, you now turn it to your bomb. And then you now start doing like this. No. And these were just one, just two girls, so most of them. They'll just wear one short thing like this, and I just didn't. What's that your TikTok dance? Show me, tell me. You do have like this, and then I do like this. And then I do like this. Then something else now. Please, we are saying that whatever it is you want to do, let it glorify God. Okay, moving on. Everybody stand up. Stand up. Stand up now. All right, everybody sit down. All right, so you're going to break out into your groups again. All right, you want to play a game? You're tired? You want to play a game? You want to play a game? You want to watch what? You want to play a game, not a game. You want to play a game? P.S. Did you bring it? You want to play a game? All right, so we are going into our groups for something interesting. Yeah? While at it, we're going to do what we call Scavenger Hunt. So, if you are interested, stand up. All right. You stood first. Come. They're all boys. Come. I called him. He stood first. Come. You stood second, right? Who was beside you? Who is beside you? You, second. All right, just go back. Go back, go back. Sorry, I'm sorry. I need a girl, please. Let it not just be all boys. You are a girl, you are interested in scavenger hunt. Come out. Are you coming? What's the name of the lady beside you? No. There are three. Thank you. There are three. I said three now. Come. We are three. Three. We'll go back to it. I did not cheat you. We'll go back. Come. It's just for three people. It's just one gift. All right, so we're going to break out into our groups. But then, these people are going to be on a hunt. It shouldn't take them so long, and they'll join us in the group. 3 people. I don't know why we are 25 here. I said 3 people. 3 people. Okay, so I'm going to give you a clue. Where are the 3 people? If I pair you up, how would you share the gift? I should not worry. I should not worry. How would you share the gift? It's one gift. All right. It's one gift, though. Auntie Lara, it's one gift, though. Okay, so it's one gift, so when you find it, I don't know if you want to share it into 2. Cannot be shared. All right, so we have these clues. Each clue leads you to another clue. And then you finally find when you get to the last point, you find the gift. Or we'll give you the gift. Please, each group, just remove one person. All right, so it's one gift. I don't know how you're going to do it. Just hold on. Close it. Close it. All right, so each leads you to the next clue. Until then, let's break out into our groups for the next. Do not open, no. What are they saying? Team Spring over here. Team Fountain here. Team Replenish and Team Energized. We have the next few minutes and we are done for today. We have a Bible study which you will lead by yourselves. And after which you can start up your group rehearsal. Group leaders, come and pick your study for your group members. You are to anchor the Bible study yourself. You will teach yourselves. Please do not leave the hall. Group leaders. Come and take and share for your group members. Do not leave the hall. Bible study time. Come and take and share for your group members. Group leaders, step forward, please. Come and take and share for your group members. Bible study time. Everybody should be seated now in their group. Sit in such a way that you can all hear each other. Please take those earpods out of your ear, please. Thank you. Be here indeed. Bible study time starts now. After which you would tell us what you learned too. The topic is God is my loamy soil. Oh shit. I heard this girl say it on Sunday. All right. God is my loamy soil. She has created hashtag. She's not a celeb. Where is she? Let's acknowledge your line. Where is the girl, sir? Where's the girl that preached on Sunday? So hard to do now. Okay. You have seen your line, Abby. God is my loamy soil. Since it's such a mama, you cannot participate. You guys you formed the circle earlier. That's fine. You can start now. Leaders, please lead. Yes, please. All right, so those on scavenger hunt, you start now. Find it in seconds. Don't fall down, oh. You are just following these ones that are running. You don't know where they are running to. No. Find your own clue. Where is that boy just following them, Milade behind? Bible study time. We started already. Make sure you have a paper in your hand. So they found our gift already. And some people are still searching for the next clue. Well done. Please, Scavenger Hunt is over. You're stuck there. You're stuck here. Sorry. Wait. Please, we said water. It's right there on the dispenser bottle. The next clue. Did you eventually find it? You were just...
and salvation, whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life, I will not be afraid. When my enemies came against me, they stumbled and fell. Though an host encamp against me, my heart will not fear. The war may rise against me, in you I will put my trust, for you Somebody say, hey, 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 hey. Say, hey, 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 hey. Where are my salsa people? Aha. One, two, three, go. The Lord is my light and salvation, whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life.